Stine says he approached Miles from behind and restrained him and later arrested him with assistance from Whitesburg police.
I announced myself, he knew me. The workers knew me. I told him it's Mickey Stines. I think I told him he had 2 warrants and that I was the sheriff. He was under arrest. Once I did that, he tried to get turned around on me. I kind of knew that Whitesburg City would be there any minute, so I just kind of pushed him up against the counter and in a corner, just to restrain him till they got there, because they're always safety in numbers, and I didn't want anything to get out of hand for him to get hurt or for myself to get hurt. But at one point during the arrest, when we was at the jail, he's like, you can't do this. You didn't out yourself. I didn't know who you was, but during the whole physical wrestling match, he was, Mickey, you can't do this. You're not in uniform. You can't make a citizen's arrest. And I informed him at the time and later at the jail that, I'm an elected official. I'm the sheriff. I can arrest you at any time, especially when you got a warrant. I don't have to be in uniform or anything like that.
The arrest of Miles has cast a national spotlight on the Letcher County Sheriff. National news outlets, including Fox News, have picked up the story about the arrest, but Stines says despite the attention, it was all in a day's work for the Letcher County Sheriff's Office.
Letcher County Sheriff Sean Stines gave a deposition this week. It was for a lawsuit accusing him of failing to investigate sexual abuse allegations involving one of his deputies. That deputy is said to have repeatedly sexually abused a woman in Judge Kevin Mullins' chambers. Kentucky State Police say Stine shot Judge Mullins several times following an argument yesterday. Stine surrendered without incident.
County Courthouse. Multiple law enforcement agencies from around the area, along with emergency services, responded to the area and located District Judge Kevin Mullins with several gunshot wounds. Life-saving measures were taken, however, were unsuccessful. He was pronounced deceased on scene by Letcher County Coroner's Office. At that time, preliminary investigation indicated that Letcher County Sheriff Mickey Sean Stines fired at District Judge Kevin Mullins following an argument inside the courthouse.
I didn't know if I was going to make it. I was in such bad shape. I was just trying to get through the day, just trying to get through the next day. Most of the time it wasn't even day by day, it was just second by second, if I could just make it.
If you send someone to an inpatient maternity ward, obviously, if they're good, you don't want them to have a quick turnover rate. You want them to get someone in, keep them until the child is born.
Why was the judge killed? Hunted, shot multiple times from 3 different places as the judge was hiding for cover in all of this. There is no doubt when you watch the video that it's clear that the sheriff wanted the judge dead. He's about to exit the chambers and sees the judge is still crawling, so he goes back to fire his gun again. So from the beginning, there have been stories, there have been rumors, there's been a lot, there have been descriptions of connected to his phone. And when I say his phone, I mean the judge's phone. Reveal the answer to that question. Now, I would think that the sheriff himself could answer that question, I think. Sheriff is calling his daughter from that phone. Two phones, calls from his own phone, gets the judge's phone, and calls his daughter from the judge's phone. And then it's after that that the phone is put on the desk, the sheriff stands up, he confronts the judge, he draws his weapon, and he hunts down and kills the judge inside the chambers. That's the way this played out. Now, we have not seen the video preceding the confrontation. It exists. Prosecutors didn't want to show it in court, didn't want the defense to ask questions about it, perhaps didn't want the public to see it. I'm not sure. They didn't need it for that hearing, so they didn't show it, but it exists. And it's a big part of the story. Like, what led up to the judge standing, to the sheriff standing up and pulling his gun out? We don't know. We had a little bit of testimony And it was on cross-examination, not direct, when Clayton Stamper, the detective from the Kentucky State Police, who knew as little as he possibly could know about the case before testifying. He's the case agent. He's like the lead investigator that's going to put together and coordinate all the pieces of this case. But at the point that he was testifying in court, knew very little, just what, you know, I think someone told me this, someone told me that. Very, very, very limited. But here he is talking about the sheriff using the judge's phone. Take a close listen to the exact words that are used in the question and in the answer.
I was told that.
Have you had quorum?
Yes.
Okay. And have officers confirmed that the sheriff's daughter's phone number was on Judge Mullins' phone?
Yes, I believe so, yes.
So that number had been called from Judge Mullins' phone,
yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, how do you interpret that? What does that mean to you? Like, when someone says, your number is in my phone, I interpret that very simply. Like, if your number's in my phone, that means you're in my contacts, right? Because I've called you before, I may call you again. You know, I made you one of my contacts. I'm going to call you because your number's in my phone. And I think that's the way all of us interpreted that. And then everyone's like, ooh, why?
In court last week, that video is just so hard to be able to watch there, where he pled not guilty. Police say Stines shot Judge Kevin Mullins multiple times last week after an argument inside a Kentucky courtroom. They have not offered any details about a possible motive. But
argued that exact same thing. His attorney wants the entire video released prior to the shooting so they can see exactly what was happening, because his client is obviously telling them that something else was occurring prior to this happening. And you can look at it. This sheriff was already under a federal investigation.
In Kentucky, because the area has had so many real-life examples of public officials gone wrong. This Mickey thing ain't the first time this stuff's happened, y'all.